Here we go then. It is the final of the Taom V10 Open here in Helsinki, Finland. It's a race to 13. It's local favourite Petri Makkonen taking on the island boy Jonas Souto. And Jonas wins the lag and will break. And Marcus Juva joins me in the commentary box. Hello, Marcus.
Hello, Ben. Thank you, and nice to be here with you. Let's hope for the good quality and tight final. So there is the most excitement for the viewers also.
Yeah, absolutely. During the day-to-day, throughout the quarterfinals and the semi-finals, they've all been tight matches. Nobody's run away with anything here.
Yeah, I was commentating Petri's previous match against Huang from Vietnam, and he played really good. I know Petri, of course, well since more than 20 years. I could see that he was getting into this mode where he lets his stroke out a bit, relies a lot on his shot making, but plays excellent patterns also. But he has a bit like two ways of playing. The other one is very meticulous, not too slow, but meticulous, and then sometimes he gets more loose and attacking type. Let's see how he goes with the final.
Jonas trying to hide the two ball, does so successfully.
But leaves a path for a two-rail kick, so Petri is not in that big of a trouble. He has to negotiate with the 4-6. Also not to pocket the 2 on the side, which might leave him snookered behind the 7, which of course would then give a jump shot, but he has an easy hit, but not that easy of route to escape with the 2. Plays it pretty much perfectly, not touching the 4-6, nor pocketing, nor hitting the point of the side pocket. Ironically, there might actually be a gap between the 7-9, so Jonas doesn't have to jump over it. Tries to play safe, cue ball back on the upper end, but catch it a little bit thick.
And Jonas is going to be right up against it here. He's clearly playing the local favourite. He's going to have the crowd against him.
Petri starts with a very good combination, controls the 2 ball perfectly, has the balls open, has to a little bit see the 7 ball not to hook behind the 9. Crowd is of course cheering for Petri, but in my experience the Finnish crowd is quite also generous towards the guests. So
yeah, I saw that with when Petri was playing Duong Kok Hwang. They were all very generous with their applause, well deserved.
Here you can see what I was just referring to, that Petri, he often plays very meticulous, that he controls the white, doesn't move it too much, plays percentages, but he sometimes likes to let it loose, stroke out. When that works well, if it's of course deadly. but he has to be careful not to make careless mistakes. He's able to follow just for the 7.
It looks very much like Petri is going to take the opener. It's a long way to go though. Race to 13, as we said. Sometimes the first one is the hardest.
Yeah.
So, Marcus, you've obviously been here all week. Who have you been most impressed by?
Well, I noticed Petri's results were very good, but I wasn't able to follow his games. I was impressed also very much about Mark Bisterbosch results. I know he plays very carefree, attacking style of game. I was yesterday, when the last 32 started, I was predicting that he will go far, and he did, but in the end, Jonas Souto Comino was able to snatch the semi-final. Was it 11-9 or?
Yeah,
something
very,
like that.
very tight match.
Yeah, and I was also, because we have so many fans from Vietnam, so we were giving the second TV table where I was commentating, and we were giving lots of time for Huang. So I was very impressed of his style and his composure, his calm demeanor. But in the end, these two guys are in the final, and it's not coincidence. So
Yeah, Duong Quoc Huang is a master of playing to technique. You won't see much flair from him.
Exactly, yeah.
But that makes him very difficult to beat.
Yeah.
Because he rarely takes the wrong shot.
Yeah. But he got a little bit. I would question that maybe he did get a little bit tired in the end, jet lag or something, because he did actually have a little bit funny shot selection in the last frames when Petri was playing good and forcing him to. Also, the shot clock might be in his favor. He's not a slow player, but because he's a meticulous, sort of calm, like a relaxed pace, so the shot clock might have gotten into him. He made a little bit hasty looking decisions. Petri kicks, but is not able to get it safe. It's not easy shot for Jonas to start with, but it's definitely on. And there's a route for the tree. It's about the nerves now, the focus. It's a bit do or die for this rack to make it, and he does. So.
Yeah, right in the heart of the pocket. Never in doubt, that one. I was saying during the semi-final, Marcus, that I was really impressed by his temperament. It's something, he's very much an improved player, and he's a very fiery character.
Yeah.
But now he seems to be channeling that in exactly the right ways.
Yeah. Yeah, there have been, especially now when I was commentating on Hoang's matches, and there was first Elliot Sanderson, who is quite fiery also, and then there was, against Hoang, and then there was another match with Cledio Cacci against Jonas Souto Comino, and that went hill, and they were both like putting their heart on the sleeve. So there have been some quite contradicting characters on the table, which I've been commentating, but in this match, I already said before, it was ready to see that Petri and Jonas would be in a way quite good match, because now when Petri is playing this bit more aggressive style and shooting like hard and going for the shots, then we might see quite interesting sort of two attacking players, bit red climbing on the cheeks and fire in the eyes.
Yeah, it's definitely going to be fast and furious, this final. And already it's looking like it's going to be a tight affair as Jonas clears up to make it 1-1. So, Jonas to break again. First break of the match. One ball. He cut it a bit too much and it went low. Let's see what he does this time. Absolutely picture perfect. Is that 4 ball just going to cover the 2? I think it does.
It might be. I think it's on. The thing is that the 7 ball is blocking. It is playable with the combination, but the 7 ball is on the side of the pocket, so there is lots of work to do to control that the 2 ball will be playable after this shot. He might be able to just float the cue ball past the 9 and hold the 2 ball underneath the 5. Okay, so he went the 2 ball. He wanted to rise the 2 ball. Is he able to stop the white, or is he going to the long rail and drawing it back towards the 3? He's drawing. Both players showing that they didn't come to slow roll the balls.
Yeah, that's a massive sign of confidence from both. Very, very easy to get caught in the trap of playing everything pocket weight. But a confident stroke can get you to manipulate that white far more. And you'd think he should be out from here.
Yeah, seems a routine out from now on. But got to say that there has been also lots of surprising errors. All the guys have been playing good. It has been very entertaining matches. But part of it has been that there has been, like, let's say every 3rd rack, some surprising scratch, surprising miss. So is it only because of the TV tables, lights and pressure, or is it that this will now make the is the final gonna be perfect all along?
Yeah, possibly that. What I've also noticed, in a similar vein, when you say about the mistakes, is these guys can obviously use all of the pocket, and they very often pinch the pocket to try and get a bit of position, and just occasionally we've seen today they've pinched a little bit too much, so it makes them look a bit silly.
Yeah.
But we all know what they're trying to do. Anyway, Jonas takes a 2-1 lead with the first break and run of the match. And regardless of what happens here today, this is a great warm-up for both these players ahead of the Scottish Open, which starts in just a few days. McGoldrick's Pool and Sports Club, Glasgow, Scotland. A good field there, and Duong Kwok Hwang will be looking to retain his title from last year.
He actually didn't ask Petri, is he going to Scottish Open? Yeah, you have that. But so will it be like UK Open after that? Yeah.
Yeah, immediately after the Scottish Open will be the UK Open in Telford.
Petri making the 1 and having position on the 2. The angle is not ideal, but seems that he's able to. Well, it looks a bit straight from the top camera, so he has to draw. I first thought that he might be able to follow 2 rails. If he has to draw, then he has to handle the 6. Okay, he stunned it a little bit and played it very, very well. Sometimes Petri's small weakness could be that when the opponent starts playing good, and he gets cold on the chair, he's not able to retain his composure. But at least the first 2-ball seems that his arm was there as well as in the first rack he won.
Yeah, momentum is a huge thing in 9-ball pool.
It is.
You often see little runs of racks together as players have a bit of momentum and inertia. Of course, here we're playing alternate break, which means that you do always get a bit of an opportunity to stop a run.
Yeah.
This has been solid from Petri so far.
Yeah.
He'll just be stretching a little bit to reach this one. Shouldn't be an issue when he switches hands.
We'll probably play until... Okay, he came to the center of the table. Needs a little bit of angle, or prefers at least a little bit of angle. Might be that he has to follow and play the long 9 to the upper left. He's drawing it. Will we see a forced draw around? Yeah, once again. They're sharing punches, like showing each other what they can do with the white ball.
Yeah, good out from Petri, and we are tied up once again.
Short break, Petri went to timeout. We will continue soon.
Petri returns into the arena just in time for the referee to complete setting up the balls.
Makes 2 balls but leaves himself hooked with the 3. The 1 ball on the side like tried, 2 ball also same pocket. And now he has to choose whether to go for a risky kick shot. You might see an edge of the 3 also. Or will he play a push out and give Petri a chance to decide? Looking for a push out. Probably trying to freeze the cue ball to the cushion. Leaving Petri a tester. If there is an angle a little bit, I doubt Petri will take this, but he will give it back. There's not much to do from here because as it's straight in, it's very difficult to play safety. And if he misses this, he will leave anyway quite or relatively difficult 4. And if he misses this, he might leave Petri an easy out. He makes it and hooks him with the 4. Probably sees an edge of it and plays the white ball behind the 8. Tries to freeze it on the short rail.
So Petri, it's an easy one to hit. Getting it safe is another matter. He's looking potentially at the potting angle, cutting it all the way to the bottom left.
Yeah, probably tries to play it rail first, 4 ball on the left corner, and the main idea to get the cue ball 2 cushions from there back to the end rail where he's at now. He hits the point, which means that Jonas has a short enough distance to be favorite to make from here the 4, and as the other balls are open, it might easily be an out.
Yeah, navigated back up table very well. 5 to the 6 is going to be the key of this rack. You can see where he's pointing his cue. He just wants to leave it roughly mid-table. Not trying to do too much.
Yeah, he was a little bit checking also the left side of the 6. So I would, now he's back looking at the center of the table. That's the better one, I feel. There's lots of room to play for the 7 afterwards. Just needs to slow roll this, so. Kills the white ball with the drag shot, does it well. Has a bit of an extra angle now, so has to either go around or slow roll it. Okay, he's able to play it from 2 cushions, but he does get tight. He does leave too much angle, so now from the top camera it seems that he has to play safety. It's too thin probably to go for. He might go for a bank, giving Petri some hope, but taking the hope away as soon as the 8 ball starts traveling towards the pocket.
And you can just see Petri in the corner was just muttering away to himself. Looked disappointed that he never got the chance he thought might come, and he shakes his head. But it's Jonas Souto who is now in the lead 3-2.
Bit lazy applause from the audience. Maybe everybody was wishing Petri to get back on the table, but definitely the gutsy 8 ball was worth of those applauses at least. Petri to break. Needs a good break to be able to level the game with this inning. Makes the 1. Bit unfortunate with the 2 as it just passes the angle to be played on the side. It's doable, but not easy to be played on the upper right hand corner. He's looking for safety, the first option, but now I think he did check the pocket for right upper corner. The cue ball should be natural, 2 rails back and forth and 3 ball to the left corner. He goes for it but overcuts. Gets fortunate by hooking the 2. Did Jonas change already to a jump cue? Can he reach it? No, it's not a jump cue. I think he has his playing cue. One rail, safety. Well played. Wanted to glue the white ball to the 8. Didn't succeed with that, but got it safe. Petri has relatively easy hit. And I mean relatively easy kick, safe. 2 ball.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, looking at the overhead.
He might have to elevate the cue and swerve a little bit around the 5. Then from 1 cushion hit the 2 and 2 ball from 1 cushion to the end rail. He might get the bonus from 5, 3, 8 to hide the cue ball. He played it thin. I doubt he tried it like that. But now he got the bonus. Bit frustration from Jonas' expressions, which is understandable because the 2 ball would have been clearly on.
Yeah, it was a feature of his semi-final against Mark Beisterbosch. Mark had 3 big rolls went in his favour in situations similar to that, where you think you're going to come back to the table with a nice, easy shot, and the ball just didn't go that way. But it happens all the time in 9-ball.
Yeah. Got bit back there, this Lady Luck, because the 2 ball is not playable. I mean, it might be playable to the left side pocket, but that's too difficult to go for. Petri goes for a safety, but now I think bit leaking from the side, so Jonas probably sees the 2 ball, and I think he does. Seems that he is going to be playing with the lots of right, low spin, tries to go between the 8 and 3, back 2 cushions, and then 3 ball to the side. Quite perfectly done. This is as good Petri is and as experienced he is. This is poison for him because he wants to be the one who makes the nice shots. Not watching from the chair. So he has to keep now his temperament checked. Not let any negative thoughts come to hinder his aim for the gold.
No, that's what I was hinting at earlier when I said his temperament's massively improved this year.
Did you mean Jonas or Petri?
Oh, apologies,
Yeah,
Jonas.
yeah, I'm talking about Petri now.
Apologies.
Yeah. Yeah, but I also notice now when I watch Jonas that he has improved. He has lots of confidence. He did win one this similar size of a matchroom tournament. I think was it in Central America?
Earlier this year, only about a month or so ago.
Oh, but then it's a second one already because I think like year ago or something like that he won. I think in Colombia or something with like exotic. I think he won. I'm not 100% sure, but I have a memory which says it happened, but haven't googled it now. But yeah, he has lots of confidence. Actually, last year, our very own Riku Romppanen beat Jonas in a thriller. I think it was last 16, and I think it was 11-10 or 9-8. And Riku Romppanen ran a very nice out in the final deciding frame.
Rack 7. You want to shoot a break, leading 4 racks to 2.
So Jonas not able to take advantage of a good break. And Petri has his first real chance for a little while.
It's a bit short there on the wrong side of the tree. Has not much space because of the 6 and 8 on the right side. He wishes, of course, to hit it with the right low spin to avoid the 7. But because of 6 and 8, he doesn't have a route there, or at least a good route, so he might have to play it inside spin. No, he goes there and tries to avoid, plays it well actually, unless now it rolls too much. Route was there, but the speed wasn't.
Extension, please.
He's looking maybe to cut it in. If I interpret his body language correctly. Maybe spins it a little. Maybe tries to kill the white. Force 5 ball. Plays that pretty much perfectly. Very nice recovery. Gets a little bit fortunate to have an angle. This was more than perfect, you could say. It is very important for Petri to keep on stroking well and keep on running out from his opportunities, because Jonas definitely is playing well and Petri is better in the tight matches and when he's the front runner. So this is very important for him to do. Flirts with the side pocket, but controls it perfectly. Nice out.
Yep. And he's not letting go of Jonas quite yet. 4-3 now to Jonas. And I'm probably repeating myself, but the Moscone Cup this year returns to the Alexandra Palace in London. And for you WNT TV subscribers, you'll get a 24-hour window to access your tickets before they go on general sale. And that window opens May the 7th, just over a week away now. And this year, we have 1,000 more seats available per day. The noise inside that arena is going to be incredible. Focusing back here, Petri just has a little word with himself before he gets down to play this, really focusing himself.
One ball in once again, but having a bit tight 2 ball. I think it's possible to go past the 6, but it's difficult, and I wonder if he has any angle to play for the 3.
Seems to be looking.
He might play it for the side pocket. Cut it. Extreme cut with the low left, killing the white ball. Spinning the 2 ball into the side. Bit similar shot he just did in the previous rack. Sees the edge well and executes it properly. Very good shot. It seems that Petri is taking it a little bit, the speed a little bit down, which I think is good because he's getting his nerves a little bit better intact. So the small errors he had in the past racks might be eliminated for the future. Now he's playing more careful with the white ball, seeing that the angles are proper all the time. Stopping the white.
Yeah, he's looking good here once again. Anywhere the centre table will be okay for the 7. That will do.
Leaving a proper angle for the 8. Probably 9 to the right corner, lower corner pocket.
And a good break and run. Exactly what was needed. And we're back level.
Yeah.
Rack 9. Scores tied at 4 racks all. Jonas, Souto to break.
So good connection. Finds a home for the 1 ball. 8 ball also goes in. But a lot of distance between cue ball and 2.
So the momentum has been shifted on Petri's side. Jonas needs a killer safety from here. Will he try to glue it with the 3 ball? Play the 2 ball behind the 6 and 9. That's what he does. Not gluing maybe, but covering it fully.
And I think you used the phrase there, a killer safety. Just explain to the guys at home what you mean.
Yeah, well, there are different, like you can play so-called conservative safety that you just, spread the balls, 2 ball on the other end and white ball on the other hand and leave it open but difficult to be attacked. Then there are, snookers or covers where you can easily hit it and maybe do a counter safety. But then there are what I would say killer safeties where you are really in a trouble that your odds to even hit the ball become low. So let's say if he would have got it completely touching with the 3 ball and 2 ball would be behind the 6, then that would have been, you could call that a killer safety, even though of course there would have then be 2 rail escape. Petri does hit, but leaves an easy enough, I would say, for this level, this caliber player. So Jonas has a good chance of getting 1 point again ahead.
Yeah, safely deposits the 2. Now just looking to get back down the table after the 3.
He probably leaves himself near where he is now and plays then.
Yeah, just takes the risk out.
Yeah.
Potentially hiding himself behind.
And from here he has a good route for the 5. Lots of space between 9 and 5. Can easily avoid the middle pocket with the cue ball. And will have a good angle with the 5 for the 6. will go for the side with the 6, as he does.
Yeah, very expressive, Jonas. You see him just moving his body, telling the cue ball he wants it to bounce off that side rail. He's safely navigated this and will, you'd think, take the lead.
Both players playing good, or you could say excellent so far.
Yeah.
Couple of small mistakes actually. The previous with Jonas 2-ball cost him because he was 4-2 up, had a good chance of going 5-2 and maybe giving Petri some doubts. But as he missed the 2-ball, he gave Petri a chance, which Petri utilized by running out 2 racks. But what is obvious here is that either player can take some punches, so even after some small mistakes, they have been able to come back as strong and run out the next one.
Rack 10. Petri, Makkonen to break. Driven 5 racks to 4.
Yeah, and Petri's been hitting these breaks good. But that cue ball has just absolutely welded itself to the 9.
Yeah, Petri is good with all kind of shots and he's good with this also, but even if he would make the 2, he still has to be negotiating with the 4-ball. So I'm not sure if this is worth the risk. Petri obviously not happy what kind of situation he is in. If the 9-ball wouldn't be there, he would be a favorite to make the shot and play the position for the 3, but now it's a different level of hardness on the shot. Seems that he's going for it though. Probably he sees that he can go between the 4 and 6 back.
Yeah, and referee right over this, making sure Petri doesn't touch that 9-ball. He always had a chance of a bit of cover. Has he got there?
He did probably get the cover. For sure he got some sort of a save, but it seems that he cannot see the 2-ball at all. Because if he could, he would probably play the carom 9. Now he's looking for a 1-rail kick shot.
And Jonas's 1-rail kicking was a feature again of his semi-final. He found the pocket a few times. Whoosh. 9-ball's close. It's in.
Wow.
You want to shoot go in for out?
No clapping from Finland. I just said before the match that the Finnish audience is generous towards the guests also, but they have been a bit. They're not also happy with the lucky shots, but
Yeah,
this shot in Philippines, if FN Reyes would have done it, it would have bring the roof down.
Yeah, their fans here are knowledgeable. They do recognise that was more luck than judgment.
Yeah, not sure what Jonas was actually playing with the 2, because if he would have played the 2-ball straight in, to the right corner pocket, I think he would have lost the cue ball bit with the 3. So when he played it, actually the 9 ball started moving towards the corner pocket. I didn't see was it exactly going in, but then the extra kiss denied that, but then by huge form of fortune made it to the side pocket.
Rack 11. Jonas shoot or break. Leading 6 racks to 4.
Well, he hasn't made the 1, but the wing ball, the 2, has gone in.
Yeah, he made the wing ball and has a bit of a tester with the 1, but as well as he's been stroking these in recently, I would say he's a favorite to make it. I think there could be a chance to play 2 cushions on top of the 4 between 9 and 8, but seems that he's looking to play it rather with the center ball and go around the 4 towards the 5 and leave an angle with the 3. Yeah, that's what he does. This was a good shot, unless he's gonna be hampered with the 5.
Yeah, slightly, it looks like.
He's able to, the 5 ball for sure distracts him, but seems that there is a edge for the left low spin, which he would need anyway.
Yeah, those shots, like Marcus is alluding to, he would have played that part of the cue ball anyway, but you're always just afraid you're going to do something a little bit silly and just touch the blocking ball.
Yeah.
And that can sometimes make you miss, put a bit too much spin on it, put a not quite correct stroke on the ball. But on this occasion, Jonas has come through that challenge. Changed his mind partway through that shot. He was looking to draw that ball, and then as the beep started, moved his cue tip to the top. Sort of a stun run through.
Yeah.
He lets out a big sigh there. He's not quite exactly where he wanted to be. He should still be okay. Plays it well. And now we're going to see the biggest gap we've seen so far between the players. 3 racks the difference.
Yeah. Just a moment ago it had shifted to Petri, but very quickly Jonas takes 3 rack lead.
12. Petri Makkonen the break. Trailing 7 racks to 4.
Petri breaks the one ball in once again. He's a bit unfortunate with the 2 ball or the white ball, but shouldn't get too negative about it, because he, for example, now he has a good chance to play a good safety. Should keep the positives.
Yeah, and a good break like that, the most you can hope for, really, is an open shot of the 2. There's no guarantee of getting an easy pot, but he's still in control of the table, and he can really play a talent safety here and put Jonas in all sorts of trouble. And this looks like this might be one of those killer safeties you were talking about earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
Extension, please.
So looking like Jonas is going to kick at this off 2 rails, both the side long rails. Even if he does hit it, difficult to get safe. Of course, Petri will be hoping he's extracted ball in hand,
Foul.
and does do so. So now, ball in hand to Petri.
The 8-9 is locked, but he obviously can break it with the 5. But if the 6 ball is not going past the 7, it might create problems, because he wants to do both, break the 8 and 9, and of course play a position for the 6. He doesn't want to do just one of those.
Yeah, it does look like from the overhead.
He
the
might actually
6
move the 6 ball from here, will he? He might move the 6 ball towards the center, because he will be anyway with the 3. Yeah, he moves the just enough. He wanted to play a little bit more full, but he didn't go too near the 3, so he's fine. So now he can play the 5 and carom with the 8-9 more safe, because the 6 ball is on pretty much to all the pockets. Petri is an excellent straight pool player, so he knows 1 or 2 things from playing or opening the balls and playing the position from there.
Yeah, Marcus, when we had Christian Sadea in the booth with me earlier in the week, he was a very big advocate of playing other cue sports and other disciplines, because you can learn a lot to bring with you to the 9-ball table.
Yeah, I'm a bit lazy with the other disciplines. I love one pocket very, very much, but I don't have much players to play it with. But otherwise, it's rotation games, and with this table and these balls, there are also, we have in billiard 24/7, we have pretty much all the disciplines. We have a snooker, carom ball, Chinese 8-ball, and also Finnish Caroline or Finnish Kaisa, which is a bit relative with the Russian pyramid.
Yeah,
It has
fine.
big, like orange size, 67 or 68-inch balls, and very, very narrow pockets, even more narrow than in Russian pyramid. the table itself is a bit smaller, though. It's when the Russian pyramid, I think, is played on 12 feet, like a snooker kind of
That's correct, yeah.
table. The Finnish Carolina is played
Petri Makkonen wins the race.
10 feet table. It has actually varied a bit. It has been also 11 feet at some point, or 10.5 or something like that.
Yeah, it was a game I was introduced to in my last visit here to Billiardi 247. I had never seen anything quite like it.
Yeah. Petri is excellent player in that also, one of the best in Finland, but I don't play. I love actually three cushion. That's the only game beside pool which I like to play. Sometimes snooker can be fun, but even though I have always lived or played, I mean I have always played in a club which has a snooker table, I still very rarely go with it, maybe once in 2 years or something like that.
We do have some of the crowd are actually behind the camera
13.
this side, and that's why you just saw somebody moving through the shot there. In between racks, taking the opportunity to go and get themselves a refreshment. This looks like this is going to tie up a bit. It may have just come free.
Yeah, I think it's a little bit turned back on the right. Not sure if it's on, but it seemed to me that it a little bit turned on the right the last moment. He's looking already for the tree, so it tells us that he can see the 2 ball fully, or fully to the pocket. Will he play the combination with the 4, or will he go for the side?
Well,
I think
if he had some more angle, he might have had some more options, but now I think he's almost forced into it.
Yeah, exactly. And that's what he checked already.
Needs to be made. Not straightforward at all.
Probably will play it softly with the aim to kill the white ball on the left side of the table behind 5 and 6. Gets an insurance, unless if he's tempted to bang it harder. But I would guess that he plays the cue ball at the same time to save. That's what he did, and played the combination
And that
perfectly in.
was a good finish. But it is the Finnish player who is now needing to come back against Jonas, who leads 8-5. Well over halfway to the victory line of 13. And if you're joining us from America, now's a good time to remind you that we have the inaugural Florida Open this year at the Caribe Royale Resort in Orlando, where the Moscone Cup was just a few months ago. That takes place in August this year, and tickets again are available at matchroompool.com. We're really looking forward to another brand new open event on the calendar, and more pool in America.
Petri Makkonen break. Trailing 8 racks to 5.
Okay. Oi, oi, oi.
Well, this looks like being a very similar story to the last rack,
Yeah, but
for Petri. But
but
can he
is
see
it-
the two?
Yeah, if it's touching the 7, then it won't be on. And even if there's a slight gap, it still might not be on. I think there is a slight gap because that otherwise Petri wouldn't be even checking the 2-ball. This is tricky. I mean, it might be that he can almost see it and spins the ball a little bit. He's playing center ball, so it must be on. That means that, yeah. So now the run out is very much on. The rest is quite easy. He has to play the combination, which is not difficult at all, but of course he needs a good position with the cue balls to be able to control the white and the 5-ball after the shot. Which is a little bit distracted with the 7. But I would give a good odds for him to run out from here. Probably wants to be straight in, and probably lower side of the side pocket, so he has as easy as possible. Or he goes upper side, and I think he was a little bit slow with the cue ball here, because now he has to negotiate with different things. If he plays it slow, the cue ball will leak and the white ball will stay quite close to 8. If he goes around, that means that the 5 ball has to stay exactly where it is, and when he plays it a bit harder, even a slight angle with the 8-5 means that the 5 ball will move, and then the 7 ball really comes to the play. Okay, so he draws it, so he takes the 7 off. He draws to the 7. He doesn't hit it full, so he's still on, but a bit thinner than wished. It's still on. Bit tricky. Cannot go around, probably because of the corner pocket. If he plays it with right hand spin, he did go around, but played it too slow or too thin. Either way, that was a bit of a surprise.
Yeah, it's right in there, deep in the shelf. Required a delicate touch from Jonas. You can't see any problems from here now. Thumps the 7 in with authority, and he is feeling super confident now.
Jonas, sit over the rack.
Nine 5 up. And just going back to what I was saying for the American fans, August is a good month for you guys, because after the Florida Open, the next major will be the US Open, back at Harrah's Resort in Atlantic City. And once again, there are still some tickets remaining for that one. You can go to matchroompool.com to secure your ticket from only $25 a day.
Rack 15. Jonas, sit over break. Leading 9 racks to 5.
Okay, this time, random ball, the 7, finds the corner pocket. And another ball dropped into the middle, the 2, but he is hooked on the 1. Tricky one to push to, so he's going to take the opportunity instead to kick at this 2 rails and try and create something.
Bit thin hit. Bit thin of a hit, but I think by fortune got it hooked. I
Yeah.
think he tried to play it more full and 1 ball to the end rail, the bottom rail.
Yeah, he definitely lined up sending the ball the full length of the table. Plenty of cover down here, but has got away with it.
Jonas has been excellent with these kind of shots. Let's see how he handles this. He can slow roll it, stop the white on the 9, and have a little bit of insurance from the 3, but he might also bang it in where he stops the white with the 9 and 6 probably. The banging always means that you at least get the psychological help of not leaving of not most likely leaving the 9 ball in the near the pocket. Sorry, 1 ball near the pocket in this case. Gets a bit fortunate with the white ball here. Has options to play on the side and to the corner, both giving him the relatively free position with the 4. Just naturally plays it to the pocket, and well, he got a little bit far as an angle.
I was mentioning this earlier. It's fascinating watching players who are not at the table in their chair. Petri looking away and muttering to himself, probably still remembering the fortunate hook that Jonas got that has led to this potential chance.
But dealing with those misfortunes is often the factor which then decides how well you play afterwards when you get your chances. So,
But he will need to get chances soon, because it looks like Jonas is going to be the first one to double figures. Just needs to take care of this 6 ball. I think he's okay, you know.
he's okay, a bit fortunate again. He might have to play a rail first, but this is not, probably even not, but this is anyway. Yeah, he didn't even need the rail.
And Jonas Souto is now just 3 racks away from his 2nd WNT ranking event title of the year already. Looking like a player bang in form.
Yeah. Petri hasn't done much wrong. Now I think important for him is just to keep focusing, not letting those small and one little bit bigger fortune of Jonas to disturb his focus. He has been breaking well, hasn't been rewarded with it. But if he can steal a couple of breaks from Jonas, change the luck with his own break, he's still very much in the game.
10 racks to 5.
Hundred percent with the one ball. Not so good percentage with the two ball, the position for the two ball. We'll probably opt for a push out unless he wants to make a statement with the jump cue.
Push out call.
He might be able to, I mean, he might be tempted to jump. No. Going for push, that's the correct shot. Doesn't want to risk it.
Jonas, your choice, please.
Is the two ball on past the 6?
The overhead may tell us.
Might be on. No, he's watching for safety. Two ball to the end rail and cue ball behind the 6. Slow roll. Plays it a little bit too thick. Petri might even have a shot. Yeah, Petri has a shot probably with the 2. This was not a good shot from Jonas, so Petri has a chance to win from here, this rack. Plays it very well, gets an applauses from the audience, and even Jonas is reacting a bit for it. Has an easy 3 and 4. Doesn't have much to do here. If he gets well on the 6, he will play the 7 then for the side pocket, which makes it easier to play for the 8, except that if he plays straight to the 6, he might also just stop it and draw the cue ball, play the 7 ball upper left and draw for the 8. This is not ideal. Not that Petri is not capable of recovering from here, but now he has to make a good shot. Soft draw to the right side or bang it and come from one cushion up.
What's going to happen here? Well, it looks like these might be dead set.
Yeah, that's not helping Petri's feelings.
And this is starting to slip away from Petri Makkonen.
Yeah, he's been unfortunate, but this previous situation was his own. This is something I shouldn't like draw, black clouds or dark clouds on top of his head, but as good of player he is and as strong as front runner he is, he has bit problems when the things start to go south. He's not capable of dealing with the misfortunes, unfortunate shots and opponents' luck. So it affects his game. He had I could say easy out. Of course, he needed to negotiate with the 7 to 8, but there was two options which he normally is able to cope with at least 9 out of 10 or more. You could say more. When he's a front runner in the Finnish tournaments, he copes those kind of situations 96, 97 times out of 100.
So 2 away now. He'll be looking to put this to bed as soon as he can. Not give any sniff.
Also, if I can a little bit analyze Petri's way of play and sort of attitude, when I said in the beginning that he has sort of two gears, the other one is the meticulous, calm, relaxed, very careful, not slow at all, but like that he really plays the percentage and really plays the cue ball well, doesn't leave like anything on the chance. And then the second one is where he lets his stroke loose and starts relying on his shot making and sort of demolishing opponents who make mistakes. But I didn't add then, but I can maybe add now that when he gets into that second way of playing, it also means that he's getting a little bit tired. It's like the last sort of gases, not last, but meaning that then he's not, when he gets into that mode, he's not so well able to handle the negatives.
Yeah, that's probably true for most people in most veins of life. It's always more difficult when you're tired to deal with things that go wrong.
Yeah. But he for sure had energy to, run out 11 racks, but he didn't have energy to sit on the chair and handle the negative thoughts. Or maybe I shouldn't say that he didn't have. He hasn't been having properly, but of course miracles happen, and it wouldn't be the first time that somebody comes back from this situation.
No, this one's certainly not done and dusted just yet.
Yeah.
Still work for Jonas to do.
But as well, Jonas is playing. There is some sort of miracle needed for Petri to climb back, because it will need a couple of mistakes also from Jonas now.
Yeah, definitely. And with the break format that we have, alternate break, Jonas is always going to get a few opportunities, possibly from his own break, even if he doesn't do it straight away. It's going to be very tough for Petri now. You just see from the way he's moving, Jonas buzzing around the table. And the top of the hill is calling for Jonas. He's very nearly there. 12-5 now. 1 away. All Petri can do is try and delay as much as possible and hope that Jonas makes some mistakes.
Yeah. Petri has had the one ball from the break every time, but he hasn't had a shot, I think, since the very beginning. So now he would need a little bit more luck with the break, and of course, on the opposite hand, he would need lots of luck that Jonas won't get his break going on anymore.
Rack 18. Makkonen 3. Trailing 12 racks to 5.
Another one ball deposited.
Okay, now he actually got just what was ordered from my part, at least. He has a fairly easy, if not 100% for sure combination to the middle. It is very easy. He will not miss this. There is a slight angle, but he gets one back with this.
And makes the combination.
Petri Makkonen wins the rack.
Not sure why he played it so hard. Took some away from the size of the pocket with that speed, but
Yeah, maybe just some frustration.
yeah. But the main thing was that he cut it properly, so the 9 ball went in. Now it's the first break to be stolen from Jonas if he wants to keep hanging on with the game. Jonas have been breaking good, so needs lots of luck with it.
Rack 19. Jonas should have break on the hill. To a score of 12 racks to 6.
So the break on the hill. Nails the 1, has an open shot at the 2. Every ball has a pocket.
Yeah. It's not the easiest of shots, but how well he has been shooting. He will for sure be favorite to make it. I don't know him well enough that if he's a strong closer or finisher, but he seems so. Okay, he goes for a bank. Let's take some words back. I'm surprised. I think it was on to play into the corner pocket well enough that he could have went for it.
Yeah, and Petri, as he walks around the table, just has a bit of a look of disgust that Jonas has found a bit of cover there.
Extension play.
Petri should be happy to get into the table. He has lots of outs from here. Plays it softly. This is very much what he tried, but the 2 ball leaks and the 1 white ball leaks. This is unfortunate partly, but he would have needed to get the 2 ball safe anyway.
So a second and better chance for Jonas. Caught the point, didn't mean to.
I think got lucky again. He has a shot with the 3. Can either play safe or can thin cut it or cut it to the corner. I think he's going for that. Probably comes with the cue ball on the upper side of the side pocket. Not sure though. This angle can be a little bit misleading. Goes underneath, so he was able to check spin it a little bit inside.
So doesn't try to do too much, just settles for a shot to the top left, sorry, with the orange 5. Just needs to bounce this on and off the side rail and get across for the 6 to the same pocket. Always feeling it.
Couple of floppy shots also from Jonas here.
I'm amazed that one found
Yeah.
home.
Yeah, and he just barely got 1/2 of the width of the white ball and of the ball, and he wouldn't have been on. Kills the white. Got a little bit fortunate again. Didn't want to hit the 8. It's not the easiest shot. He probably plays safe, or seems that he's going to play safe.
Yeah, Petri recognised it 'cause he picked up his
Yeah.
cue immediately. Saw that he was going to get another chance.
Quite good safety because the 9 ball blocks the otherwise obvious path. Let's see, he's trying to draw and tighten the angle. Whoa,
Wow,
what a
that
shot.
is phenomenal.
He,
He just
yeah, he just stops it for a very thin, difficult cut for the 8, but that's doable. He might also bank it, but I would suggest, yeah, I think he's going to attack here. He wants to make a statement and the last run for the money.
This is wide. And now, Jonas, Souto, this is your moment.
Yeah,
2 balls. All that stands between him and this Taom V10 Open title. The 8's there. You'd think this is it.
yeah, won't be missing from here.
Your champion this year, Jonas Souto Comino from Spain.
Gets a deserving applause, humble celebration. He knows he was a bit fortunate with some shots. Gets the crowd's approval with relatively humble celebrations. A little bow down for the audience and gets the extra recognition from there. But all in all, very well played from both, but some bit fortunate shots with Jonas and a few more mistakes, small mistakes, but crucial mistakes from Petri this time.
Jonas, if you'd like to join us, congratulations, my friend.
Thank you so much.
What a fantastic final of the Taom V10 Open we've had today. You must be really pleased with your performance.
Yeah, I mean, I started the tournament real bad. I mean, struggling a lot, but you know, I mean, finally I can find my way. I can find my game. So step by step, ball by ball, you know, match by match, and I was feeling better like after match. So in the final and the semi-final, I think I played really good, really solid. So I think I deserve.
And obviously, with this partisan crowd, they were looking really for a Finnish win. You've taken that away from them, but you had support in your corner from your Spanish compatriots.
No. I mean, of course, he is from Finland, but the people was really respectful with both. So I have to say that. Yeah, I feel like I'm in home too, because when I won a game, everybody's like clap me, you know. So for the crowd is really respectful, and thank you to everybody who watched the final and semi-final. This magnificent event. So thank you.
And now this is the second event you've won this year already. After the Seattle 9-Ball Open, you're the first player on the WNT to do that this year. So a man bang in form, ready for the majors. UK Open coming up, how are you feeling for that?
Yeah, it's the best feeling I can have, you know. Finally, before the 2 big tournaments, the Scottish Open and UK Open. So I'm really motivated, you know. But finally, this is pool. Whatever you won one tournament, in the next tournament you have to be focused because you can lose with everybody, and you can win against everybody. So I'm really happy. I want to enjoy with my friends from Spain. I'm gonna do some call with my family, you know. But I'm really motivated for the tournaments that are coming.
Fantastic, thank you, Jonas. This time I'd like to introduce Ido Romponen into the arena. Ido, the manager of the club here and the tournament organiser. And it's my pleasure to say, Jonas Souto Comino, you are the Taom V10 Open champion. Well, thank you very much. Next action for you on WNT TV will be the Scottish Open in just a few days. But for now, thank you very much, and we'll see you next time. Congratulations.